We're starting chapter 9 today. Multiple representations of functions.
What's like the chapter?
Talking about functions.
You guys just did like kind of like reviews and work on, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Most of them are. So yeah, today, section 9.1, multiple representations of functions. What's it mean to be a function? Who remembers what that is? Like every x has one y. Yep. Every x has one y. Remember we talked about it past like a vertical line test on a graph type of thing? Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today. You can use the representation of a function to create a different representation of the same function. For example, the table shows the cost of renting mountain bikes for 5 days at Outdoor Biker from 1990 through 2005. Use the table to create a graph, and then we could also use the table to create an equation. Okay, so to do the graph, we just plot the ordered pairs. Well, dot, 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 connect the dots, and we have our line. Okay, so we can graph them based on that. We can also use the equation. Now, in order to use an equation, though, I need to find a couple things. I need to first find the slope. In order to find the slope, I need two coordinates. Notice they picked 1990, 37, and 1995 and 49. So they picked those two coordinates, and then they found the slope. After finding the slope, they picked one of the coordinates. They did this one. And they took that and plugged it into point-slope form. Change that to slope-intercept form, and now I have the equation of the line. Okay? And then I can use that equation to predict the cost of future prices, possibly, if they were to use that trend. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today. Just like if you think about the warm-up, like number 3 we did in the warm-up, writing equations of lines, same idea, just a little bit tougher because they're like bigger numbers. So let's look at number 1 here. It says the table shows the cost of renting ocean kayaks for a week at Ocean Adventures. Use the table to solve. So number 1, use the data to create a graph. So I'm going to plot the coordinates here. I have 1992 and 28. So I'm going to plot 1992 and 28. Somewhere about right there. Then I have 1996 and 42. So plot that coordinate. 2056. Then I have 2004 and 70. So there's my line, there's my graph, plot the coordinates. So number 1's done. Number 2 says write a linear equation. In order to write the equation, I first need to find the what? Slope. I first need to find the slope. So I need to pick two coordinates. Which two coordinates do I want to use? 2056, okay, and which other one do you want to use, Katie? Let's use those. All right, great. Let's pick those two coordinates, use those two coordinates. Now, I need to find the slope. Which one's my x, which one's my y?
The 2056 would be your x, 24, so it would be your y.
Okay. The year is my x, and the cost is my y. How do I know that? Because I can just look over here at my axes, yeah. All right, so again, yeah, if you look over the axes, x, y, you can figure out which ones they are. Okay, now I'm going to write the linear equation, so I'm going to find the slope. So m equals 70 minus 56 over 2004 minus 2000. 70 minus 56 is 14. 2004 minus 2000 is 4. My slope comes out to be approximately 7 over 2 or 3.5, either way you want to look at it, right? Now I need to write the linear equation. So I'm going to pick one of those coordinates. Which coordinate do I want to pick? It doesn't matter.
The second one, 2004.
All right, Drew says 2004 and 70. So I'm going to plug it into point slope form now. So I'm going to say y minus 70 equals 3.5 parentheses x minus 2004. And then I'm going to change that to slope-intercept form. How do I change that to slope-intercept form? It's 2 steps. The first step is to That's the second step.
Don't you multiply the 3.5?
I add distribute. So I distribute, and then I add 70 to the other side. You can use a calculator here. Okay, use a calculator if you need to. So I distribute, and then I add 70 to the other side, and my equation should come out to be y equals 3.5x minus, what's 3.5 times 2004? What'd you say? So yeah, I get 6,944. Awesome. Now last step says to predict. It says predict the cost of renting a kayak in 2006. Now 2006, is that my x or my y value here? So I'm going to take 2006, I'm going to plug it in for x. So y equals 3.5 times 2006 minus 6,944. I multiply those, subtract 6,944, and my predictor would be, what would that cost be? $77. Nice job. Very good.
Wait, so you just multiply 3.5 times 2006 and subtract.
Very good. Yep, I'm just plugging into that. That's why I have the equation, so I can just plug it in. Yep. 9.1, ladies. Let's try the next one. A bicyclist leaves a rest stop at 1 o'clock and heads directly for home at a constant rate. The table shows how far D he is from home in miles as a function of time t. Create a graph and an equation to predict the time he will arrive home. Okay, so let's think about this here. This is the time. So it's 1 o'clock, 1:10, 1:20, 1:30, 1:40. At 1 o'clock, how many minutes has passed? When he just starts off, how many minutes has passed? 0. So it's really like 0 minutes. And at 1:10, how many minutes has passed? At 1:20, how many minutes has passed?
20.
At 1:30?
30.
At 1:40? Okay, so if you look down here, it's time in minutes. I'm going to plot these coordinates. So I'm going to have 0 and 18.5. So about right there. Then I have 10 and 16. Which is about right there. Then I have 20 and 13.5. Then I have 30 and 11. Then I have 40 and 8.5. Okay, so there's my graph. Now I want to write an equation. So to write the equation, I first need to find the slope. Jeremiah, give me 2 coordinates to find the slope for. Which one? You say 1:30? So 30 minutes, 11. Okay, and what another one? So this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to do the slope. Which one's my x? Which one's my y? Is t x or y? T is x, d is y. So I'm going to have 11 minus 8.5 over 30 minus 40. What's 11 minus 8.5?
2.5.
Over what's 30 minus 40?
-10.
Does anybody know what 2.5 or negative 10 equals? Approximately? Negative 1/4. Nice job. So it's negative 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to plug it into an equation. What equation I want to plug it into? Point slopes. There's my slope. Now I'm going to give you a hint here. Does everybody see this coordinate right here? What's my x value in this coordinate right here? 0. Wouldn't it be easier to use that coordinate to plug it in? Yeah. So let's go y minus 18.5 equals negative 1/4 parentheses x minus 0. Now I got to change that to slope-intercept form. So what do I need to do? 2 steps. I need to
Distribute and then add 18, or 18.5.
distribute and add 18.5. So I get y equals negative 1/4 x plus 18.5. Very good. Now the question asked me, predict the time he will arrive home. Okay, so predict the time he will arrive home. What's my distance going to be when he is home?
40. Oh, wait.
See how my distance is going down?
Yeah. 0.
What's my distance going to be when he gets home? What was it? 0. So when I plug it in here, I'm going to plug 0 in for y or x? 0 for y. So I'm going to say 0 equals negative 1/4 x plus 18.5. Take a couple seconds and find x, the time it would take to get to 0. Take a couple seconds to try that one out. All right, let's walk through this here. Who thinks they got the answer for me? Kyle, what are you thinking?
I said 210.
Hey.
Close.
It's close, but you know.
How many minutes is it, Johnny?
I'm going to go with 220.
No.
Is it 215?
212.
Anybody actually figure it out? Beast, what do you got?
I think 74.
It is 74 minutes.
What is that?
It takes 74 minutes, which is approximately what time? 2:14.
Did I say 215?
No, you said 2:20.
Yeah, no, I said 215.
I think you said 2:15.
Wow.
74 minutes. Basically, what you'd have to do is subtract 18.5 and then divide by negative 1/4.
What do you mean? Okay, so you have 0. Okay.
So you have 0
Yeah.
equals negative 1/4 x plus 18.5.
Then, like, why can't you just solve these normal?
So I'd subtract 18.5. So I had negative 18.5 equals negative 1/4 x. So I'd either divide by negative 1/4 x or times by negative 4. So negative 18.5 divided by negative 1/4, which some people did negative 18.5 times 1/4, and that's what they got 4. Yeah. 74 minutes, though. All right, try this one on your own. The table shows the balance B in dollars in a savings account at the end of each month. Create a graph and an equation to represent the balance after M months. There's no predictor here, so graph it and write the equations. All you have to do. Take a couple seconds, try this one on your own. So you have 138, then you have 246, then 354, and 462, and 570, and 678. It's like that, right? Then you have to find the slope. Allie, which coordinates did you pick to find the slope? So you did 78 minus 70 over 6 minus 5, right?
Yeah.
And you got 8 over 1. And then you had to pick a coordinate to plug it into. Which coordinate did you pick, Katie? Or not Katie, Allie?
First one.
So I did y minus 38 equals 8 parentheses x minus 1. And then you distribute and add the 38. And you get what for an equation, Allie?
Y equals 8x plus 30.
Y equals 8x plus 30. Nice job. There's your equation right there. Take a couple seconds. Try number 6 here on your own. It says, new members at a fitness club pay $200 to start and then $20 per month for life. Create a table. You have to make the table. I'll help you out here. I'll even give you the months. I'll go 0, 1, and 2 for you here to help you out. So create a table, a graph, and an equation that represent the total cost of enrollment C as a function of months M of participation. So think about it. If you just started up, how much is it going to cost for you just to start?
$200.
So think that through and fill out the table and graph it. Take a couple seconds, finish this one up on your own. Jeremiah's got it for me. Jeremiah, give me the cost at the bottom there. Give me the C's. What do you got?
200, 220, 240.
200, 220. Yeah. And 240, not 222. 220 and 240. So I plot those coordinates. And I have there, something like there, and there. So I got a graph that goes something like that. Now I need to write an equation. Jeremiah, is the equation kind of given to you?
Yeah, it's y minus 200 equals 20, parentheses x minus
Y
0,
minus 200 equals, what did you say?
parentheses,
20 parentheses x minus 0. Distribute, add the 200 over. And you get y equals what, Jeremiah?
20x plus 200.
20x plus 200, that is correct. Now this one doesn't ask me, but what if, let's say I asked you, in 10 months, how much would you pay? So if I asked you over a 10-month period, how much would you pay? Would anybody be able to give me that answer? Nice job, Jake King. How'd you find that? Math is correct. Take that 10, plug it in. 20 times 10 is 200. 200 plus 200 is $400 total. Here's your assignment.